Hello everyone, myself Shivani Yadav. I'm affiliated with Spirelab Electrical Engineering Department, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. I'm going to present a paper titled Analysis of Acoustic Features for Speech Sound-Based Classification of Asthmatic and Healthy Subjects. A paper accepted in ICASSP 2020 for poster presentation under speech analysis and coding session. Here is the flow of my presentation. First, I will give a brief introduction about the problem statement. Then I'll talk about the motivation behind our work. Further, I will talk about the dataset, experimental setup, and the result that we got in this work. And in the last phase of the presentation, I will conclude the talk and talk about the future work as well. Before problem statement, first I want to tell you about what is the objective of our paper. In this paper, we want to study the Interspeech 2013 Computational Paralanguage Challenge Baseline, also referred as ISCB features in a paper for asthma and healthy subject classification. Now, the question is, why ISCB features? Because it has been shown in literature that acoustic characteristics is different between asthmatic and healthy subject voice. As ISCB feature consists of spectral, substrate, energy, and glottal source feature, our hypothesis was discrimination between asthmatic and healthy person voice can be captured by these features as well. As none of the work has explored the use of these features for asthma and healthy classification task in different speech sound and compare their performances as well, in this work we are trying to do that. In this slide, I will give a brief introduction of the problem, and in the follow-up slide, I will talk about the need of sound-based analysis. Asthma is an inflammatory disease of the airways which causes coughing, chest tightness, difficulty breathing and wheezing, and other peculiar sounds during breathing. As you can see here, this is the airway of a healthy person. This is how the airway looks like in an asthmatic person, and this is the airway becomes during an asthmatic. As you can see, the airway has become very much narrow because of inflammation and mucus secretion. Impact of asthma is very huge, as it is affecting around 334 million people around the world. Spirometry is the golden standard lung function test used to monitor or diagnose asthma. During spirometry, a person has to wear a nose clip, take a deep breath in from mouth, and exhales as fast and as much as he or she can. Spirometry measures how much and how fast a person can exhale. According to age, gender, height, and weight of the patient, some reference values of spirometry have been predicted. These predicted values are compared with the measured values of the patient. If there is any discrepancies between reference values and the measured values, it will help to diagnose or monitor asthma. This whole process is very strenuous, especially for elder people and kids. It takes long time and it requires special training as well. Now the question is there any other technique available that can be used as a helping hand for spirometry by reducing its limitations? Answer to that is yes. Sound-based analysis can be one such technique which can be used to overcome spirometry's limitation, as it is cheaper, easy to use, and requires less training as well. In this work, we use the data which is collected from 95 subjects. Out of 95 subjects, 47 are patient and 48 are controls. We try to maintain the data to be gender balanced. Age range of patients was between 15 to 17 years, and healthy controls was between 19 to 60 years old. All healthy and patient data were recorded under the supervision of doctor. For this work, we recorded speech sounds like R, E, O, U, Ye, S, and Z, and non-speech sounds like cough and wheeze. These also referred as breathe sounds in our work. Inhale and exhale part of the breathe sound considers a separate stimuli in our work. Each stimulus was recorded on an average 5 times per subject. All recordings were done at a sampling rate of 44.1 kilohertz. Now to the experiments. We did 3 experiments in this work. In each experiment, we tried to address few key questions as mentioned. In experiment 1, comparison of ISCB and baseline MRCC feature performance for asthma and healthy subject classification tasks is done. With this experiment, we tried to answer questions like how is the performance of ISCB feature with respect to the baseline MRCC features, and which sound among speech and non-speech sound is performing better for the classification task. In experiment 2, forward feature group selection in all speech sound has been done. As we know, ISCB has 21 feature groups. Through forward feature group selection, we try to find out which feature group contributing more for the classification task in each speech sound. We asked another question, which was, is there any feature group which is common across all the speech sounds? In our last experiment, which is experiment 3, we did forward feature selection in the best selected group of experiment 2 in all speech sounds. In our experimental setup, to compute 6,373 dimensional ISCB features, 20 millisecond window length and 10 millisecond window shift has been used. All features were calculated at the stimuli level. To perform experiment 2, all features have been divided into 2 sets, set A and set B. Set A comprises of spectral, substral, and energy features, whereas set B comprises of source features. There are total 21 groups in both set A and set B, 15 groups in set A, and 6 groups in set B. Each group is followed by number of features in the bracket. For example, root mean square has 100 features, whereas MFCC has 1400 features. Hence, including all 21 feature groups, we have 6,373 features. We have used SVM with RBF kernel in 5-fold cross-validation setup as the classifier. For baseline, we have used MFCC statistics with SVM as classifier. As an evaluation metric, total classification accuracy, which is also referred as CA, have been used. Now let's look at the results. Performance of baseline and ISCB feature is shown in the bar graph. X-axis of the figure shows stimuli used and the Y-axis shows total mean classification accuracy, which is shown as TC here. Sounds which showed significant improvement with ISCB feature have plus symbol at the top. This purple bar shows the standard deviation in the mean TCA. From the bar graph, we can see that all sounds performed well, except V's. All the vowel sounds showed an improvement of at least 10% and the fricatives of at least 6%. From the bar graph, we can also see that Expl performed best among all the sounds, whereas speech sound O performed second best among all the sounds and best among all the speech sounds, whereas the fricative Z performed best among all the sounds. Forward feature group selection results are given the table. First column shows the stimuli used and the second column shows the best group selected in each of the stimuli. For example, R sound, for R sound, MFCC feature group is selected as the best group, and for SAR sound, logarithm harmonic to noise ratio is selected as the best group after forward feature group selection. From table, we can see that there is no common group across all the speech sound, and results are stimuli dependent. Although there is no common group across all the speech sound, but vowels have MFCC as the common group. For the best performing O sound, loudness and MFCC was selected as the best performing group. Here are the results of our last experiment, which was forward feature selection in the best selected group of experiment 2. Topmost selected feature in best selected group of experiment 2 is shown in the table here. For the sound R, E, U, and Y, MFCC group features are selected at the top, as you can see it here. On the other hand, for the best performing sound O, interquartile range between second and third quartile of male scale loudness is selected as the best performing feature in the best performing group of loudness. So from the work, we found out that ISCB feature showed improvement over baseline MFCC except B's. Expl performed best among all the stimuli for asthma and healthy classification, and stimulus O performed best among all the sounds, performed best among all the speech sounds, and second best among all the sounds. ISCB feature group selection results are stimuli dependent, but for vowels, MFCC is common across all the vowel sound. For the best performing O sound, loudness and MFCC are turned out of the best selected group, whereas interquartile range between second and third quartile of male scale loudness is selected as the best feature. For future work, we want to explore the use of these ISCB feature in case of running speech for asthma and healthy classification task. These are few of the relevant references. We want to thank Chitramandi for his valuable input in this work and the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India for their support. Thank you for your attention. If you have any question or suggestion, please write to us at spirelab.ee@isc.ac.in.